Hey, what's up? My name is Jonathan Fink. Welcome to my audiobook series. Up next, we have The Pokemon Gods Are Real, Chapter 1. The Calling to Collect. Every faith begins with a calling. For some, it arrives in stillness, a quiet moment in a church pew, a sudden sense of meaning that seems to emerge from nowhere. For others, it appears in movement, out in the world, beneath open skies where something unseen feels present. For Pokemon collectors, the calling rarely announces itself with such grandeur. It arrives instead in far more ordinary settings, wrapped in plastic and possibility, waiting patiently for the right moment. The calling comes in the rip of a pack. There is something unmistakable about that first tear. It is not merely curiosity, nor is it simple excitement. It is ritual. Fingers hesitate for the briefest instant, as if recognizing the weight of the act. The heart beats a little faster. The world narrows, as it always does, to the fragile stack of cards hidden inside. Nothing extraordinary has happened yet, and still, everything feels charged with meaning. What makes the moment powerful is not knowledge, but mystery. You do not know what waits inside, only that it matters. The uncertainty itself becomes intoxicating. The quiet belief that something remarkable might be revealed at any moment. Long before collectors understand rarity, grading, or value, they understand this feeling. To collect is, at its core, to believe that possibility lives inside sealed. The first believers were children. They did not speak of markets or population reports. They had no framework for scarcity or asset classes. What they possessed was something more fundamental and far more powerful: awe. A single holographic card could transform an ordinary afternoon into legend, reshaping playground hierarchies and igniting stories that would be told for years. In those early days, the cards carried a kind of social gravity that adults often failed to recognize. A Charizard glimpsed beneath cafeteria lights or revealed on a playground bench was not simply an object, it was an event. It inspired envy, admiration, bargaining, and reverence all at once. Binders became more than storage devices, they became sacred text. Each plastic sleeve a protective casing for something imbued with emotional and symbolic weight. Yet, the calling does not belong only to children. It waits, often silently, through years of distraction and reinvention. Adults encounter it in subtle ways: a parent lingering too long in the card aisle, a former collector drawn unexpectedly towards familiar artwork, an investor entering with rational intentions only to feel something less measurable begin to take hold. Nostalgia, curiosity, and fascination blend into something that feels strangely familiar. For many, collecting is not a beginning, but a return. The binder may be gone, childhood collections scattered or sold, but the sensation remains instantly recognizable. Memories surface easily: the texture of cards, the smell of fresh packs, the peculiar electricity of unveiling the unknown. What once felt like a forgotten phase reveals itself as something more enduring, a dormant impulse rather than a discarded one. Every collector experiences a moment of awakening. Sometimes it is triggered by a single card. An image that evokes emotion disproportionate to its material form. Sometimes it emerges through community, a trade, a conversation, a shared recognition between strangers who speak the same peculiar language of rarity and reverence. However it arrives, the realization is unmistakable. This is no longer casual interest. The calling resists logic because it is not born from reason. It does not submit to cost-benefit analysis or probabilistic thinking. Instead, it manifests as a quiet internal pull, a voice that grows louder with each encounter. It repeats the same invitation, deceptively simple, yet deeply persuasive. Open the pack. Try again. Remain open to the possibility that something extraordinary may appear. Those who heed the calling eventually discover that collecting is not merely about acquisition. It is participation in an experience defined by anticipation, memory, and meaning. The cards are physical, but the attachment is emotional. The rituals may appear trivial from the outside, yet they carry a weight understood instinctively by those who have felt the tremor of possibility inside a sealed wrapper. The calling, then, is not about owning everything. It is not about completion, dominance, or even value. It is about surrendering to wonder, hope, and joy. End of chapter 1. Up next, chapter 2, the game. If you enjoyed this chapter, please hit the like button. If you really enjoyed that chapter, please subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys take care. Don't forget, the Pokemon gods are real. God bless.